All right, hey guys, we're back with OPC. We got all our members here right now. We got Nolan, that's me. We got SJ, we got Ezra, and we
What's
got
up?
we got this winner guy over here, Justin.
He forgot his name.
It's getting late. It's getting late.
Crazy.
Uh um
Hot intro.
sorry, Zorro. What's your real name? Jaden?
He's not.
They call me Legacy.
Legacy? Oh, you mean X? X the Legacy?
They
Yeah.
just call you X.
XX. But yeah, we got a commentary vid here. I'm gonna start playing it.
Ezra on the white beard.
Let me turn it down a
Yeah,
little
we got-
bit.
yeah,
If I can figure it out how.
OPC.
Yeah, I
Where's
hear you
the
twice, man.
controls? I know.
That's kind of hot.
We don't need this. I'll
Yeah,
put on
you
some.
remembered
I'll
my
put on
name
some
in the
lo-fi.
video.
I did.
Dang.
It's because it was earlier in the day.
Okay.
He doesn't care after I win.
No, absolutely not. But yeah, so this is finals at I think I just said the same thing I did in the video. At our locals. So
What leader are we running on the left there?
you tell me. That's you. We got Ezra here on the left. That's why we have him on the top
Where?
left up here, and we got Justin on the right. So what are we playing? It'll say in the video title, so it doesn't really matter too much. But
My leader's already up. I'm playing Law.
Yep.
I was super nervous coming into this matchup because of not understanding what I'm supposed to do, swinging up into something that's bigger. Like, I don't just get the free drop rush Zoro, get to swing at you.
Mhm.
So already I felt kind of uneasy, especially knowing all the events that are stacked up. Like, you just activate Red Hawk, pop something that I leave active, and then I'm just screwed. So I have to start allowing some things to be rested and not be popped, and that's scary in and of itself.
Yeah.
for
So
sure.
I was also pretty fresh into this matchup. Haven't done it much, so a few things that I was really looking out for. One, I couldn't really tell you why, but the things that I was really scared of. One is restand law. I had that on the mind a lot, and I don't think it ever got played this whole game.
I was with you in that same idea of I was like, I need to get restand law in order to push pressure when you're not expecting it.
Yeah, I think Restand's really good in this matchup. It
Can
can.
we just
It's a
not
sick.
find it or find a chance to play it?
No, we definitely didn't.
Yeah.
If I found it, it was pitched for counter. I don't think it
Yeah.
had entered the board ever.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm putting out here. I remember looking at this hand and going, "How dare you fist bump me? My hand's ass."
It looked okay. You had a Law. You had a
Yes.
Luffy.
Yeah, no, that was gross.
I guess
saw that
I
and
guess
was
no.
really
I guess no one drops. Yeah, but it's not the worst thing. I feel like.
I felt like he could start with enough pressure or things on board that I would just get screwed. Like, needing to get Bonnie out there to search for key pieces, and I'm gonna have to rest them. If he already has Nami set up, it's just a free swing unless I can restand Bonnie.
Sure. Yeah, another thing I was really worried about in this matchup too is I really wasn't sure when I wanted to use the Red Hawks. I didn't know if I wanted to use them aggressively or save them to use them defensively. I think I kind of go somewhere in between, but I suppose we'll see. We'll find out. So.
I think that's decent, but like unlike Yellow, you have a lot of options for board clearing too. You know, like not just Red Hawk. You have Marco. They can pop all their one drops. Just swing it into their bodies eventually. Hopefully, you got a lot of big boys to get over the blocker law.
Did you have a Red Hawk in opening hand?
I did.
Yeah, because I was super worried about. I was thinking just the Dawn, see if I get anything good off of it, and then swing. But the fact that you had two open, I was like, if I do that and I play into a Red Hawk, it's the worst play I could have done.
Yeah.
Especially when I didn't find a searcher off of Dodon.
Sure. Yeah, so again, like I wasn't sure exactly if that was the right move there, and I think definitely in hindsight, I'm with you. I think that using the Red Hawk there is the right move. Also, I do want to point out that I did have Chopper in starting hand, and decided not to play it.
Oh, interesting. What's the thought there?
I expected a Nico, and I will. This is because I know you. I expected a Vista. Don't lie. I know you like the Vista, and so I was like, I know he's
Vista's
gonna play it.
crazy.
Yo,
Yeah.
I would play it if I ran it. It
Yeah.
is not there.
But I was wary of that. But for sure, I was like, there could definitely be a Nico as well. I don't know. I prefer saving it till the end. Not sure if that was the right play here, but and then there is the Nico immediately. So I do think that at least in this instance, it was the right move not to play the chopper, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I get the free Nico drop off of the Brook, so I can't just ignore that, especially when I'm getting nothing to search and I kind of just have to put stuff out there.
Yeah.
And I'm relying on the Nico kind of scaring you into not doing stuff like the chop.
For sure. And I think that in this game, I get punished for leaving Nico and not taking her out. I could be remembering wrong. Maybe I don't get the chance, but I just remember that she was a big problem towards the end of the game. I know that you do bounce her at least once too, so obviously it's a little hard to get rid of her. And being that 4K, it dodges the Marco, right? So it's not easy for me to take care of, right? And it's a little awkward to Otama. Like it doesn't feel worth to do a big sort of combo like that on it. So it just feels very awkward to play around.
We were talking about this earlier. I'm gonna tell you right now. I did see an active law.
Yeah, there goes
And I shall
restand.
pitch it.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
the
said
restand.
active law was right
Yeah.
there. Just kind of wasted.
I think you had it in starting
What do you
hand.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
I figured I would see more. Like I just thought
Okay.
more stuff would be generated my way, and I don't think they do.
Sometimes it just you don't get it.
That's
You just
unfortunate.
feel like
Did,
that.
did we have anything else to counter with, or it looks like we have a Bonnie in there, yeah?
Yeah, I was
Well, you
looking at
keep the
stuff.
Bonnie.
and-
Not me.
You gotta keep the Bonnie to search for
You-
either a Bonnie or another Law, right? So
Yep.
Bonnie's just huge.
Exactly.
Unless
I weighed my options, and they definitely were the best two to drop at
Yeah.
the moment.
Yeah.
I wanted to pressure you here, so I wanted to keep Otama.
and there's nothing to restand if you shambles this turn, so it's just better to
Yeah.
pitch it because you
I
can
think
find it off the
I think
Bonnie.
just hard playing Otama is just so good. I
Yeah,
think even if we don't have removal, just oh my god, I feel like if you minus 2,000 something, I'm just letting it go immediately. Like it's just a free kill. It might as well be removal in itself.
There's a play later on, and I do my whole move, and you end up countering out. And I thought late, I was like, wow, if I just did a little different and started my turn with Otama, I thought I could draw more cards out of your hand, or at least that one interaction, the battle between characters, you would have let go, and I could have pushed more at face and maybe milked cards that way.
Sure.
But that's what I learned over the course of playing this tournament. I had not really played Law Series before, except for friendlies with Nolan, and I just found the value in Otama. It's
Yeah.
just so good.
I think it's huge. I've really found that in a lot of my new gate testing, is I just think that Otama is crazy. Like without removal, it is removal in itself in that way.
That's why every red deck runs 4 of them.
Yeah. They definitely should. They definitely should.
I found it surprising that you were actually countering all these with the 1Ks. I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of these Luffy's and Frankies that are being dropped, if
Mhm.
you just progress board with them next turn, made
Yeah.
stuff a lot scarier.
Yep, and that's absolutely what I should have done. I think that's the being a noob at the matchup is showing there, because now that I'm watching it back right now, I'm absolutely with you. I'm like, dude, what are we doing?
If I could change our focus for 1 second, now that
Yeah.
we're on cam, what are we feeling about the sleeveless Dawn? We still like it?
I love it. No, it's so good.
I'm feeling it. When I play with them, I'm like, this
Mhm.
is kind of a flex.
I kind of want to take the sleeves off my Dom, to be honest.
You know what? Get your Dawn naked. I want to see
Yeah.
that.
I think we just got to go at it naked for
Yeah,
sure.
let's get those raw Dawn out there.
Yeah.
I think
the raw Dawn are hot.
I think rule wise, legally, you have to have Dawn sleeves for tournaments.
Baby, the fact that it's illegal makes it so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it hot.
I think we show up to locals naked is one thing.
You know what? I'm gonna start wearing less every week.
Yeah, going into winter, definitely the play.
Yeah, a little shrinkage. You can't judge me, but
No,
Yeah. It's all good.
never.
There's the first law with the shambles. I did bring back the Nico and put back out the Nico. to try to keep her safe for a while. Maybe threaten any little bodies you put out there. Choppers can't come out free.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, like, is there any way you pop it? And I'm like, there's not going to be Fire Fist.
Nope.
Marco's not going to get to it. I doubt you Ultima Marco something.
Sure.
So,
yeah,
I
I mean,
figured-
just the threat of it is so huge.
that's what I'm saying. Like, she just kind of is a repellent. Like,
Absolutely.
Nico Robin, the deterrent.
That's true. And can we just talk for a second about that Nami? That Nami is so good into Whitebeard.
yeah.
Yeah.
The easy
Oh my
progression
god,
to get your
the
stuff into
6K
6.
swings are just crazy. They're
Yeah.
so good.
Efficient.
Yeah.
So on the Whitebeard side, what are you thinking here with the board filled now and blocker law out? With what
I'm
is
feeling
that?
Real bad.
I can't
Not good.
see what's on your board. Is that a Marco?
That's a Marco. Yeah, we got a Marco on board. I'm just swinging for 6 over and over, and seeing if that's what I wanted to do, I really should have kept those vanillas, right? Because I think it's awkward, right? Because I got down to this weird life amount and tried staying around here, which was definitely not the move. Because then it's like I'm at a weird spot, right? Like, do I want to keep Donna for event? But at the same time, it's like it still feels early enough to where I feel like I should be putting stuff on my board. But I kind of used all my resources already in terms of what I could put on my board. So I'm definitely in a weird spot here.
Honestly, what you're saying is what I was trying to look at from the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting for a turn where you didn't have any Dawn up or low Dawn, and I was going to try to pressure as much as I could out of your hand. I was looking for any opportunity. I could be like, okay, he has one guard or radical here. I'll bait it out with the first swing and then just make you drop 1s and 2Ks and go as white as possible.
That's the toughest part, when you see that 1 or 2 Dawn on Whitebeard, it's just like, oh man, that's a radical, or oh man, that's a guard point. Got to swing 9K to get 2 cards out of that minimum.
Yeah.
And leaders being at 5K, and like mid game, you're only gonna have like 6K, 7K power characters at the most, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that Dawn investment is just huge because you're not able to get anything else on board. It's just feels
I think
bad.
important to note, all of my 1K counters are in the trash right now.
Oh man.
So it's just it's just rough. I put myself in a really bad spot, right?
But man, these Rush Luffy's put in so much work though over the course of just the meta itself. It goes through Sanji's, it goes through Brule's, it goes through all of Queen basically with all their sneaky blockers.
It's
and
pretty crazy
especially
how far
Law,
it's come
especially
since
Law
the beginning.
too.
Yep, absolutely. And I mean, even not blockers, it's still just so good, right? Like, especially if I'm going first, like having that on odd is just so nice.
Definitely.
I'm debating between Brook and Guard here.
Okay.
I take a second, and I
Is
think
it
I end
2K
up
Brook
going
or
Guard.
Yeah, he did guard. Yeah, I was just really shocked.
See, I didn't. No, you go.
Okay, if I'm not mistaken, we searched that guard. Is that right?
Yeah, that's off
off
Nami. That's off Nami.
Yeah. So when I saw you pitch it, I was really surprised because I feel like you just having that in your hand put a lot of pressure on me because like I always just have to play around that, right? So I kind of thought you were gonna hang on to it as long as you could for that reason, especially because I don't think you ended up having a rad this game. Is that correct?
Saw rad. I did later against Nick. That's what's throwing me off. The next game against Nick,
sure.
I did.
Yeah.
But
I don't think you did. So yeah, I was pretty shocked to see that. But then we have another in hand. Is that right? Or...
No, I only have one guard, one rad.
Okay, sure.
So I think it is.
In your deck total.
See.
Yeah, I've been seeing that lately, where it's just one radical, one guard point.
I think it makes sense. I mean, I think the threat of it is just as powerful as the card itself, right?
Yeah, and I mean it is helpful, but if you get a hand of 3 events Like you are.
You're
Yeah.
getting cooked.
Yeah, you're done.
You can't play. Yeah.
Like when you're making that law deck, you just have to find a way to brick the least, right?
Exactly.
I mean, look at his hand right now. He's got like the
I'm
Dawn,
cooking.
but then
Yeah.
everything else no counter.
Yeah.
Scary.
I definitely assumed you like I thought you had a lot more counter than you did.
I was trying to fake as much as possible because I knew getting towards the end you're going to be able to sustain a lot, and I didn't want to do the mental math of predicting 3 turns in the future, like what my swings need to be.
Sure.
So I was like, let's just play as safe as possible, as slow as possible until like a vision is out there. And I was thinking about this play for a lot of how much Dawn to put on here because I want to shambles, but I want to make sure that I can still activate it if you pop something.
Right.
So I was thinking maybe just swing 6, but that's such an easy counter for you, and I don't know how many more 1Ks we have. That I was like, I might as well just push it to try to get as much out of your hand as I possibly could. So if I can get the 2K here, it will make potentially later turns easier.
Yep.
There it goes.
There it goes.
Yeah, man, it's I let that stay on board way too long. That thing took a lot of 1Ks on me, for sure.
I believe this is the Dawn. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dawn still leaves up 2 for shambles and then 1 for guard.
Yeah, and of course the
3
goal with the
targets
Red Hawk
here.
is to mess up your counting for shambles, right? But I definitely knew that you would still be able to get it off. That's just how good the Nami is. Is legitimately in my head at that moment. I was like, okay, I just gotta pray he doesn't have another one that he can just play. Because like, of course I want to mess up the shambles, but it's not realistic. I really just wanted it gone.
I think I leave the Nico here.
Yeah.
The idea there too is if I leave the Nico, hopefully you're baited to go after Nico.
Yep. And I was. Perfect. Exactly. Yep, you got it. Yeah, I think that was a really good play.
I was trying to stress at this point that I wasn't going to have enough counter for an all-out attack. If you drop more rushers, like at some point I just
another Luffy comes down with blocker proof. Just ba bomb ba bomb.
And I think that would have been the move. I think that I should have rushed out because this turn is where I go hard for Nico, like you wanted me to do. I think right here, if I go hard,
I think it would be hot if you swing the Marco 6 at the 4 Robin with no Dawn, nothing, and then see if he blocks or not.
Yeah. And
then just like stack 2 on Luffy, swing 8, right? See if that goes through, and then you're left over with what 8 Dawn, so 5 and 3, swing 9. That's kind of risky, but
it is. Here's the thing. I think this is. As soon as you pass the turn to me here, I think this is the moment where I start to panic begins, right? I know I'm going down to 0 life. I actually think I don't have.
Oh, you kept 1 up for the red.
Much counter in hand.
Or not red, guard point, I see.
Yeah. So I feel pressured to. I feel like I need to go for Nico this turn because I really want to play Chopper. I feel like I need to get Chopper out, otherwise I'll be in trouble.
I can see that.
Then are we doing an unblockable attack on Nico Robin?
I believe so. Yeah,
we'll see. You're thinking.
But I do believe that's what I go for here.
I think that's definitely the safest to get rid of it. Only spending 2 Dawn, right?
Yep.
And he doesn't just get weenie blocked by Chopper.
Exactly. Yeah. When you played this last, I think, like I was saying, this last turn really, I think, is where it's funny because later you say you think that I have it, like that I got it. I think the second that you finished out this turn by doing the shambles law and then play out the Chopper, the moment I'm like, okay, I think I'm done. I think you got my ass.
See, I was still.
I wasn't correct. But...
I think when I play Newgate, no matter what deck I'm playing, I'm always worried that I see a means to the end and it's not real. Like I'm looking at some kind of false road to victory. So I drop the chopper. I'm like, all right, if you, I don't have a lot of counter in hand. If you have swings that can disrupt the laws after you play like a Marco or something and pop the chopper, then I have to. I could take one life, but then I have to think about how can I counter out, and most likely a lot of those trades are I have to just drop a law off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we do see the swing into Nico here. I do think that not seeing Marcos was a big problem for me this game. I think that Marcos would have been huge. Obviously, really, really good in this matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't have a way to deal with the chopper.
I don't think I have a way to deal with my sadness that I just lost my game of TFT.
Oh man.
I'm sad to say, yeah.
Oh, man.
It did not work out for me.
Tough.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm sad on the inside.
You bounce back. It's okay.
See, I thought the 7 here was crazy, knowing that I had the guard. It's like I can't like not right.
Yeah, it's a waste of Dawn otherwise.
This is
Just
where
go
I was
ahead.
surprised you guarded. Because I thought you would just block 2K.
I figured if you wasted too much Dawn here was my thought. I have a lot of attacks with a Rush Luffy in hand, and my board is almost there to be able to shamble anyway. So
I see it as like 7 Dawn, right? He can play Ace. If I block in 2K, he can just -3 and make it so he just takes out one of my laws because he can attack it now. And I'd rather just guard point it and use the Dawn.
Yep, that totally does make sense. Hindsight.
That's how I see it anyway.
That is a lot.
I was so thirsty for blood too. You took that last life, and I was like, "Can I win here?"
I've been there. I played Ezra earlier in the day, and you know I had an 8-drop Katakuri. He had no blockers, but 6 Dawn up, right, or whatever the hell. And I'm like, I know he has a radical. I know he's got to have a guard, and so if I swing 13, right, 2, and then 3, so 5 Dawn on 8-drop Katakuri, 8K, swing 13. Then he's got to pitch at least 3 cards. And then, of course, you know, in hindsight, he had 2 Red Hawk just chilling in hand. I wasn't even thinking about Red Hawk there. And pretty much lost the game off of that because I expended too much Dawn. But, you know, Red Hawk is
Nolan
nuts.
Here. I'm doing Nolan. I'm stacking out my Dawn.
You got to count with Law. It's hard.
I was thinking so hard. There's been too many times today where I did all the Dawn counting in my head, and by the end of it, I must have like switched my pattern of play or something, and I ended up 1 Dawn too short, and I had to play it off like I meant to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tom here is devastating, by the way.
Yeah, I think you let me have this, and I thought that was crazy.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, you defend it at least 1 time, right? So I have to swing into it twice.
Luffy?
Yeah, Luffy's -2 right now. Dodon's swinging 4 into 4, and it goes through.
Yeah, I think you would at least guard it. Unless you just no 1Ks in hand, that'd be kind of a pega. But
So you throw me.
That could be the case.
You threw me off there. I have to hand shuffle a few times to rethink what I'm doing now. Because in my head, that was for sure guarded.
So, can we run you through why we think that's for sure guarded?
It goes through blockers. It's huge. You need it on the field to swing.
I guess my thought process is that now you have to swing into 6 rather than 4, which is going to be easier to guard. Because, like, I think the Luffy dies this turn no matter what, right? So I'd rather make you swing into the bigger bodies.
Just figure if you have me swing into Luffy twice, you drop, I don't know, whatever the most useless card is for you. You waste 1 card, and I
Promo
waste
Luffy or something.
Yeah, my whole turn attacking twice. I can't feel safe swinging these laws yet because
the Luffy's on the board.
Okay.
That's what I'm
I see
saying
it.
too. Because like, if you block one attack, he has to swing with leader to keep his laws there, and then
'Cause
he doesn't really
has to
have
take out the Luffy
a
this
play
time.
after it.
Like,
Yeah, I need one of your
Okay.
characters gone, and I can't pick the Marco. Because even
Okay,
if you
I got
let
you.
it get KO'd, then it comes back 6k, and Ultima did nothing.
Yep. No, that makes a lot of sense. I did not think of that. That definitely makes sense. Though.
And that's
I see
why
it.
watching after is good. We get the good
Absolutely,
ideas.
Yeah.
I have to just drop that raw.
I was gonna
5-star.
say the
Oh, yeah.
the raw rush Luffy and fucking Law is nuts.
No,
Yeah,
I love that. I
I'm
was
telling you,
next when I
it's
saw that.
bad.
Oh, we do have a 1K. Okay.
I always think about plays where I'm like, what if I swing with blocker Law, play restand, and then shambles, and pick up like the Law, and then play another Law. I'm like, that sounds nuts. But then
Does
I just like I never have the Dawn for it. I never have the Dawn for it. Or it's like I put like 2 Dawn on as I play Res Zoro. I swing 5. I shambles into restand, swing another 5, and then raw another restand, and
Dude,
swing
it's
another
just so
5.
raw.
It's always raw.
So raw.
Be sure to check out our raw uncut video of this that'll be uploaded later. It'll be 4K 60 FPS. I'll link it down in the description
So what
below.
order are we uploading these? Does commentary go first and then the raw comes second, or we go raw first? We go in raw.
Come on, you gotta get this out
Whatever
first.
gets uploaded first gets uploaded first. Whatever takes less
Ooh,
time,
Okay.
All right. Well,
which will inevitably be this. So this is just a preview.
I was about to say, you kind of just said the one's coming next, so this has to be up first.
This will 100% be up first. I will not lie.
This is where we're debating who has the game.
Yeah.
Oh, by the end.
He has
Yeah,
no, so
I-
he's not even
yeah.
scared of the unblockable loop because he's still got that 1 life for protection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And imagine
I'm
if he had
not
that.
blockable
Imagine if
Luffy
he had
is
that other Rush
too-
Luffy,
You
just on the
should've
field.
You should have saved it. I think.
How many cards do you have in your hand here, Justin? Like 3?
I had a consistent like 3 or 4 for like the last few turns.
Well, you're kind of shaking a little bit. It looks nervous.
Actually, you said that he should have saved the Rush Luffy?
I think you should have saved your rush loop.
That's what we're all saying. We're all saying
Yeah,
you should have
yeah.
saved the Rush Luffy.
Absolutely. I think that was the first huge
Because
big
if
problem.
you saved it and you had possibly another rush Luffy, he'd have to anticipate for it. But because you didn't, he
Yeah.
didn't even leave any Donna to kind of bait you for anything either. He just
Yeah.
said, if you have it in hand, you can just go for it because I still have 2 blocker loss to get through.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah,
But you got a
was just
Brook in
feeling super
hand. So
safe.
you have 3K. You have 3K in counter too. Who knows what the last life is? But if you
It's
put 2 Dawn, swing 8, he can't counter that. He has to take, and then you have what 8 Dawn left over. Just play Rush Luffy and swing 9. So that life has to be 1K, and you could have won. Do you remember what that last life was?
Chopper. Right?
Oh, you had it then.
Oh yeah, my last life
Yeah,
was
if
chopped.
you saved that Luffy, I think you had that.
Cause
Yeah.
do you have you got another Rush Luffy in your hand, right?
We do
I have
actually
one
still.
in mine.
We talked about it after the game that there was an avenue for me to win it right here, right?
Yeah. 8
Yeah, yeah.
and then a 9. 8 and a
But-
9 would have been perfect. That would have been game right there.
Yeah. But yeah,
But
you're totally
you never
right,
know
the
in hand
Luffy would've
too.
been it.
You never know what's in their hand or what's in life. It's
But
just
he doesn't have Donna.
in
so
hindsight,
you're
in hindsight.
thinking maybe he's got like 2 2Ks or 4 or 3 2Ks. But
well, you should know the
What you-
shambles,
what you see
right?
is the line
Or no,
right
you
now, so-
raw dog the Luffy, so you don't know if he
Yeah.
shambled.
No,
It
wait,
could be
wait,
What's
wait.
the line? What's the line?
What's the 8 and the 9? What are we swinging?
So if you save Luffy, right, 2 Dawn on Rush Luffy, swing 8, you can't guard because you have a 1 and a 2 in a hand, and then a brick, so you have to
Yeah.
take, and then
he plays the next rush.
he
Luffy,
plays
so
Rush
put
Luffy,
3 on it,
stack
that's
3.
9.
That's 9.
Yeah.
But we don't
that's
think
it.
that he just blocks with law though.
He can't.
You can.
It's Rush Luffy.
unblockable.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's only one swing though.
It's 2.
No,
You
it's-
play
yeah,
another
the
one.
The one's still on board, but it wouldn't have been able to stay up
Oh.
because I would have had the 4. Then I would do 6. We had no Dawn up, right? So I could have anywhere like the 8K.
I would
swing
pitch
that
it.
I
I
have
would
with-
pitch. I would say fuck
No,
it, pitch
I had
everything.
Dawn Up. I had Dawn Up.
He had 6
Yeah.
Dawn Up.
Yeah.
He had
Yeah,
a
I had
lot.
6 Dawn Up. No, I
He
had,
didn't
I had
save
lots
it
of
at
counter.
all.
Yeah, I think you have to protect this late in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I think.
That was a huge misplay. No, you're absolutely right.
What is it? Is it the chop? Ooh, it is a chop.
Yeah, he would have had
By
that
the way-
game.
Yeah.
Sure.
By the way, the second that I swung at leader here is the moment when I realized I completely fucked up and it was over.
That was me
Yeah,
with
so-
your. That was me in our game with the Red Hawk. I'm like, well, I think it's just over now.
Yeah.
It's like, well, fuck. He had 2 Red Hawks. That's kind of unlucky. And then at the end of our game too, where it was like, I'm thinking if I counter or not, and you're basically thinking, bro, just fucking drop your counter. But you know, I'm trying to decide, like, trying to do the math. Like, if I take it and you stack everything, which you would inevitably do, you know, to go for game, if I had enough counter, but I was 2K off, so I couldn't. And then I had to drop it. I just needed to do my math 4 times over.
No,
To make sure I'm not
feel
dumb.
you.
But
Definitely
yeah, no,
I'm
math
tilted,
is hard.
by the
This
way.
game
You
is
can
hard,
absolutely
guys.
stand tilted.
This game is hard.
I'm absolutely tilted by the way.
You shouldn't be tilted. Wait, I'm thinking about the play of keeping Luffy alive, right? Luffy is a 4 that you're defending the whole time. So then the first,
It's only 2 attacks. Yeah. Oh, I guess if you raw dog
no,
the
no,
6, if you
because
raw dog the 6, yeah,
if I'm worried about Luffy going through blockers, I swing with one of the laws, right?
yeah,
Because then I still have 1 life. So then you're guarding a 4 into a 4, an 8 into a 4, and then 2 6s into the 4.
I think he could have done it though with
I
the
could.
amount
I
of
could.
Dawn and the amount of cards he has in hand. It's he could have.
Do we make that play? Do we feel safe enough when
No.
all that's happening, right? Because then
No.
at any turn, any time, I switch to face, right?
But
Especially if I
also-
don't do the 5 down commitment for Luffy until last.
yeah.
with what you're talking about though, you're saying that you're swinging with your laws, right?
Yeah.
I would
You
have to
got
swing
no
with
blocker.
1 law. Yeah, but then I have 1 life left, and you have the 2 characters, and you have to play the rush Luffy from hand.
Yeah.
Just the numbers are different.
Yeah.
The numbers are different. I think the numbers are better though, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he could just
No
he
doubt.
he stacks 1 swing 7, you probably take, and then he can swing 8 and then unblockable 8, or just play rush Luffy, and stack everything.
Yep.
Mhm.
Stack the rest.
It gets ugly though, right? Cause say my side works out, right? And I use my leader, my Dodon, Law, and Luffy to swing into his Luffy, and eventually get it. Going into his turn, the 5 Dawn commitment, then you have 5 left. 2 have to go to Luffy to make him unblockable.
Yeah.
I take that. You have 3 left. I get one of the attacks blocked with the other law. So between the 2 6K attacks with 3 Dawn left, how do we split it up? 1 and 2?
Something.
I guess that does get there, huh? Because
Yeah.
Because you didn't have counter
the
in
2
life.
would,
That was
yeah,
just
the 2
unlucky.
would make it an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, that still gets there.
So you had how much counter in your hand? That you had the Brook and then
He
a
had
one?
3.
I had a Brook
2K.
and a Nami.
So I mean, yeah, if I just play another Luffy in hand and I have the Luffy on the board, I swing 8
But
unblockable, 9
that's
unblockable,
tough,
that's
you
it.
know. It is like
That's a hard thing to see.
it's
especially-
it's a definitely like hindsight, you know.
For sure.
This is how
I
you
think
could have
that's
won,
wise.
but you probably wouldn't have done it, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
Regardless.
That's the thing about the commentaries.
Yep.
Because like
Yeah.
what
This
about
Whitebeard such a
4K?
shitter. Why didn't he protect his rush Luffy? He could have had game. he didn't know what's in. He should have known what's in the opponent's hand. That's crazy.
That's true. I did ask.
He did ask. One time he was like, "What's your hand?" Like, what's in hand?
Just what's in hand.
Yeah, and I was like, "You want me to show you?" And he's like, "Yeah, just turn him over."
There he swung 10, and I Red Hawk 2Ks, so now he knows. I
That's
know
it.
1. Yeah, I don't got it there. Yep.
Law's
Well,
better
there
than
you go. That was
Whitebeard,
a
guys.
really
You see
good
it here.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
If the Whitebeard
It's
player
winning
is
regionals
fresh.
for a reason.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, no, that was a great game. I learned a lot about the game, about the matchup. About...
Yeah, this is just us going over what could have happened and where things kind of fell apart the last few turns.
What is that fourth card in your hand, both ways? the 2 cost? Is that another Sanji?
What for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
we
got to
got-
be a
we got
Sanji. He's
Sanji,
got his
the
leg
Midshot
up. I see his
Doctor,
leg up.
Red Hawk. Yeah, you see the leg.
I see the leg. And
We got
look
the
at there's the
Izumari.
Rush Luffy. Yeah. But you know, swing. I think the Otama on the wanted Luffy was pretty nuts. You know,
Yeah.
defending
that
the
was great.
4. If it was a 6K, oh my
Yeah.
god, you just
Oh,
protect
no,
that all
just
day.
okay, no problem.
Yeah.
I'd save it. No questions asked. Right.
Yeah, without a doubt. When you have that 2K, but it's also like you have a character that's reduced,
Yeah.
and you see all these potential swings and all this Dawn left. Like the
Yeah.
commitment to decide
Exactly.
I'm gonna defend it is so hard.
Right, and that's
'Cause-
why I just let it go immediately. Just because I'm like, I don't think it's viable. Because to be fair, the second that you play the Otama, and this is, to your credit, the second you play the Otama, immediately, boom. I'm not thinking about a, like, double swing Luffy play next turn. I'm not thinking about anything other than, okay, this Luffy's dead. Unfortunate, Like, he's already dead in my mind. The second Otama comes on the board, he's dead.
Yeah, see, that's what I was hoping. It kind of removes his skill. Like, he's no longer unblockable Luffy. He's a vanilla 4K. And am I going to commit everything to protect this 4K?
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I would. I love Luffy. We gotta protect him. All costs.
All right.
In hindsight, I would too.
Yeah, in hindsight, you would have never took a life off of me this game. I would have won without taking damage.
Protected everything. I would have grabbed jet pistol from life. Or sorry, from my trash. To take out the Rush Luffy. Easy.
Going over it here, the thought was if I stacked 9 on Luffy and then kept 1 for lead, so lead was a 6 and then 2 6 laws, could we have countered out? And we go through that math and we decide no.
No.
Eventually we do find
I don't think so.
Even with letting Luffy go the turn before, we end up finding the line. I can't remember.
I don't think it's in this video. My phone ran out of space, so didn't get that ending part of this recording. Unfortunately. So
So we
It's
just
too
say
bad.
thank you guys for watching.
yeah. Thanks for watching.
Smash like.
Hit that like button. Keep it up in the comments. We'll reply when we can if we have any clarifications or anything. If you guys ask any questions. Hope
Best believe if I lost that game, I'm not replying to any comments.
yeah. Everyone
Thanks,
just
Justin,
honestly.
for winning attorney, by the way. Played really
Oh,
well.
you're
Shout
going
out
that
to
route.
all OPC, Ez with
Yeah.
the second, Nolan with the third, SJ with the fourth. We took it. We got.
We
top
took
cut.
it. We got top cut here, guys.
Let's
We
see.
did it. Out of 8 people, we got top cut. We take out.
Oh,
Hey, that's how some tournaments are. We're not that big here, but
It's a low bar for us.
yeah, we're fine. We're chilling. We're having fun. But how was your games, SJ? Anyway.
Man, if I didn't lose that first one, I think I would have had a good chance.
Yeah.
dude,
It's like
that's
that.
my
It's like
job
that.
every time I lose. If I didn't lose, I totally had it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
He had a brand new on board. It was against Ryan. He had a brand new on board.
What's the leader for the viewer?
Smoker.
Explain Smoker.
I had
SJ, what were you playing?
Croc.
Disgusting. You're gross. Psych.
I had a meat.
You're
had a
good, bro.
Mihawk on board and blocker Pacifista.
Yuck.
And so I swung.
I'm
leader
sorry.
into-
I'm repulsed by blue. It hurts me. I just want to play the game sometimes.
It just ended up where I swung one time with leader, it got through, and then I swung with the Mihawk, and then he got the shockwave,
Oh,
and I think I still had like a lot of Dawn up, but I just didn't have any plays in hand.
shockwave on trigger.
Yeah, shockwave on trigger.
What does it do on trigger? Knock out a forecast?
More or less, which hit the Pacifista.
Wow.
And because of that, he only had like 2 cards in hand, so he wouldn't have been able to get out of it. So that literally got the game. That was it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like that.
Trigger
That's how it
placement.
You know.
I-
I
he
wish
got
we
it.
recorded
Yeah.
Nick in my game. We literally.
Well, you're both blue mirror, right? Blue
Character.
blue croc mirror.
Bottom
Next
deck,
time.
Bottom deck.
Bottom
Oh
deck
my
saves.
gosh. That would be annoying for sure.
You played 3 Centimauros. I played 3,000 Worlds.
Oh, there it goes. That's the
And
video.
that's the video.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks for
thank you
watching. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe if you're new here. This is OPC representing.
OPC.
Look forward to our future content. Take care.
Later.
Smash the bell.